Are you thinking about moving to Columbus, Ohio, but not sure what it's actually like to live in Columbus compared to where you've been? As someone who has lived a majority of their life in a variety of places ranging from tourist hotspots in Florida to state capitals with a major university to small rural towns, I can help you understand what living in Columbus, Ohio might look like to you. Hey everyone, I'm David DeLuey, your Columbus, Ohio real estate agent. If you want to know everything about living in Columbus, Ohio, moving to Columbus, Ohio, or relocating to Columbus, Ohio, make sure to subscribe and tap the bell so you can be the first to know what is happening right now in the Columbus, Ohio real estate market. To give a quick background of what my opinion is based on, Columbus is actually the largest city that I've ever lived in. But I like to think that I'm pretty well traveled, having visited or driven through most major cities in our country, as well as dozens of major cities in other countries. Let's start off with my pros of living in Columbus, Ohio. Pro number one, the highways. Columbus doesn't have any toll roads, but they have, in my opinion, a pretty great network of interstates and highways that makes traveling across the city relatively easy. Interstate 70 runs east and west through downtown and will take you west towards Dayton, Ohio, and Indianapolis, Indiana, or east towards Pittsburgh. Interstate 71 runs north and south through downtown and will take you north to Cleveland or south to Cincinnati. Interstate 270 makes a loop around the city with many suburbs and major destinations located beyond the outer belt, such as the Columbus Zoo, the Polaris shopping area, and much more. Then there's Interstate 670, which connects with Interstate 270 on the east side of Columbus near the main Columbus airport, then runs west across downtown before joining Interstate 70. Then there's State Route 315, which runs from downtown north through the campus of Ohio State University up until it meets Interstate 270. On the northwest side of Columbus and Dublin, US 33 is a highway that can take you to the northwest in the growing areas of Dublin, Plain City, and Jerome as it heads towards Marysville. And on the northeast side of Columbus is State Route 161, which goes east through part of Westerville towards New Albany, which is where Intel is building its new semiconductor factories, and then it takes you towards Newark. Of course, there are areas where it's normal to have traffic, but I actually don't think it's that bad. Pro number two, restaurants. From my perspective, there are so many restaurant options here in Columbus. You have all of the major restaurant chains, and you also get lots of great local restaurants as well. There are so many restaurants in the Columbus area that I had never even heard of when I moved here. Pro number three, there are great opportunities for sports fans. Columbus is home to the Ohio State University, which has one of the top college football teams in the entire country, as well as being a major athletic program in all major sports. Columbus is also home to a professional hockey team with the Columbus Blue Jackets playing in the NHL. Columbus is also home to a Major League Soccer team with the Columbus Crew. Finally, Columbus has a minor league baseball team with the Columbus Clippers. Pro number four, great shopping areas. Columbus is home to some great malls and shopping areas that are far beyond what you would get if you live in a smaller city. There are two malls in particular that my family just loves, Polaris Fashion Place and the Easton Town Center. Pro number five, there are awesome spots to hang out. Columbus has some great destinations for going to hang out with friends or family, or if you want to just take in a really nice view. I love the Bridge Park development in Dublin. It has an amazing walking bridge that connects Dublin's historic side with this newer development that has many restaurants and bars. There are also locations like the Short North, Columbus Commons in downtown, and there's also fun spots near the Easton Town Center. There's also the Scioto Mile Promenade and many more. Pro number six, Columbus Metro Parks. Columbus Metro Parks features 20 natural area parks with more than 230 miles of trails and over 28,000 acres of land. These are great places to go for a walk or a run or a bike ride, and they're also fun to explore with your kids, or they have other fun activities that you can do at them, as well as the playgrounds, recreation areas, sledding hills, and more. Now on to the cons. Con number one, winter. If you're used to living in Florida and you move to the Columbus area in the middle of winter, you might question your decision-making skills. But if you're moving from Denver, Chicago, Detroit, New York City, Washington, D.C., and so many other cities that actually have a winter, Columbus is going to be pretty comparable. In the several years that I've lived here, we haven't gotten all that much snow, but winter does seem to last longer than it did when I lived in Virginia. To be honest, you kind of get used to it. I'm recording this in January and it's 41 degrees right now, so I wore a t-shirt and a hoodie today. Now, a few weeks ago, we had that crazy winter storm. Yes, the one that froze like the entire eastern half of the country. And you know what? During that storm, it did get really cold, but it doesn't last for long. Con number 2, Columbus doesn't have an NFL team, an NBA team, or a Major League Baseball team. However, there are options for all of these within a relatively short drive. For the NFL, the Cincinnati Bengals are about an hour and a half away. The Cleveland Browns are just over 2 hours away. The Indianapolis Colts are less than 3 hours away. The Pittsburgh Steelers are also less than 3 hours away. And the Detroit Lions are just over 3 hours away. For the NBA, there are teams in Cleveland just over 2 hours away, Indianapolis less than 3 hours away, and Detroit just over 3 hours away. For Major League Baseball, you have the Cleveland Guardians just over 2 hours away, the Cincinnati Reds just under 2 hours away, the Pittsburgh Pirates less than 3 hours away, and the Detroit Tigers just over 3 hours away. Con number 3, Columbus doesn't have the mountains or the beach. So if you're someone who either wants to be living by the ocean or be living near the mountains, Columbus will definitely leave you hanging there. There is a small beach area at Alum Creek Lake, but that doesn't really compare to being at the ocean. Now, the benefit of not living near the ocean in Florida is that you don't have to worry about hurricanes in Ohio. So it's not all bad, right? I used to live in a city that had mountains on 3 sides of it, and I love to see these mountains as I would drive around town or just be looking outside. Now, unfortunately, Columbus does not have mountains. None. So you're not gonna have a mountain view here. Con number 4, home prices have increased a lot in the last few years. As with many cities, home prices in the Columbus area have increased a lot. It's not uncommon for me to hear people say, I can't believe a home in that area would sell for that much. Now keep in mind that the Columbus area is still well below the median sales price compared to the nationwide average. But there are definitely certain neighborhoods and suburbs that are above that nationwide median sales price. Con number 5, Buckeye fans. Now, the people here are nice, but if you wanted to walk around dressed in University of Michigan clothing every day, you would probably ruffle the feathers of a few Buckeye fans. But to be honest, you would find that if you lived in any city with a major university, especially one that's the heated rival. This isn't really a problem for most people, but you might not like Buckeye fans if you are a Michigan fan. Well, there you have it. That is my list of pros and cons about living in Columbus, Ohio, as someone who just moved here before the pandemic and has spent the rest of my life living in Florida, California, and Virginia. If you have any questions about living in Columbus, Ohio, or anything related to real estate, feel free to comment below, or you can contact me by phone, text, or email. Whether you want to look at a home today or in a few months from now, I'd be happy to help make your move to Columbus, Ohio as stress-free as possible. Until next time, I hope to see you around.